mess here. Well, we're almost to the lake. We'll see if we can get in there. Oh, what do you know, a bass? There's a chunky one. Now, do I want to keep any today or not? Yeah, if we catch another decent one. Well, that's not gonna work. Fudge sticks, and then I'm gonna be screwed. Now, this feels like a decent fish, but I probably. There's a red ear. All right, there's another decent one. There's one in the white. Oh, shit. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the stringer out and keep some of these. Hey, I caught my line that I broke off, and it's got fish on it. Not a bad gill. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That light shining on it. lot of time left, so that's not a bad haul so far. Alright, it's coffee time. So, I've been reading this book, Yukon Alone. I've read it once before. About Yukon Quest sled dog race, which got me thinking about the time. Oh, geez, it's been, I don't know how many years ago, several years ago, that I became interested in like the Iditarod and all this sled dog stuff. So I thought, man, I wouldn't mind doing that. But hey, I live in Central Illinois. Who ever thought of that? Anyway, so I started getting, I think it's called Mushing magazine, and started reading everything I could about sled dogs and that whole deal. And so I thought, man, I'm gonna have to get some sled dogs. I don't know how it's gonna work, what I'm gonna do, but you know, I didn't have ambitions of doing the Yukon Quest that I Iditarod, that's for sure. It might take years for me to be able to do that. So in Mushing magazine, one day, I see somebody's got some sled dogs for sale up in Minnesota. And it was like a 10-hour drive for us. And I thought, holy shit, this could be it. So I got a hold of them, and so they had 6 dogs, which were past racing or anything like that. So, and I'm thinking I could have taken all 6 dogs for like 250 bucks. Something along those lines. It was cheap. I thought, man, this could be it. So I got a hold of this company in Michigan, I think it was. I think it was Michigan. I said, hey, I need a sled for these dogs. And oh man. So they said, I forget how much it was going to cost. So they would ship it right to the house. So I keep in contact with these people. They send me some pictures of the dogs. I think they're all Alaskan Huskies, but which is a separate breed combination. I can't recall. So I said, but I got to have some type of lead dog. Well, we got a lead dog. I said, all right, because I had no experience. I didn't know what I was going to be doing. I didn't even know how I was going to keep the dog. I had big enough, but so I started planning all this shit in my head, getting these sled dogs, and then just there's a place close by. It's got like 80 miles of trail. I can, if we ever got enough snow in the wintertime here, that was the other bad part in Illinois, especially Central Illinois. Shit, we don't even know if we're going to have any snow or not, let alone anything deep enough to run dogs. So I said, all right. They sent me the picture, like I said, and which I didn't know what I was looking at anyway. I mean, I didn't know what a good sled dog was. I was just taking their word for it, which they had a kennel and everything. So I said, all right. So now my next thing was how am I going to go up, drive 10 hours and pick these dogs up and get them back home? So I had to ponder all that in my mind, and I'd already pulled the string on the dog. I said, well, I'll probably take them then. I mean, 6 dogs for 250 bucks. A guy in Central Illinois. I was just planning on maybe, like running some of them little small races, maybe like in Wisconsin, Minnesota. I always had the John Bear Grease sled dog race on my mind, where they have a couple smaller ones, not the Bear Grease itself. Got 6 dogs. I mean, I'm sure just a short, trip, race, whatever. So anyway, I said, tell me more about the lead dog. And they said, all right, there's a real good dog, but Anyway, I'll tell you the rest here in a minute. I'm going to finish this coffee, and then we'll get back to fishing, and I'll finish the story here in a minute. Anyway, finish my story. So I have him tell me about the lead dog. He's white, good dog, the whole, 9 yards, which is fine. Like I said, I wasn't all that knowledgeable on what I'd read. The dog had one issue, however. He only had one freaking good eye. A lead dog with one good eye. What the hell? I didn't know if that was good or bad, but they said he still ran really good. So, I wanted sled dog so bad anyway. What the hell? I'll go for it. So I tell them, let's do this. And so they tell me, okay, we'll get back with you next week because we're going to be gone. I think they were running a race, something like that. We're going to be gone for a week. I said, all right. So that whole week I tried to see if I get some, dog carriers, the whole 9 yards to get the dogs back home. And, I had my sled ordered. It was going to be a while before I got it, but that was no big issue. Anyway, so they come back and I'll make an arrangements to see how I'm going to pick these dogs up. However, while they were gone, their dog handler sold 2 or 3 of those dogs. And one of them was that lead dog, which pretty much killed my whole dream. Now I'm still interested in it, but I'm too old now to mess with sled dogs. But I just thought, a guy from Central Illinois running dogs, I don't know if that was good or bad, if it would have been good for the dogs, bad for the dogs. I don't know. It was a dream, and it was gone just like that. Kevin Wright, sled dog racer. My dreams vanished in an instant. Feels like we got a decent fish here. I could be wrong too. He's not bad. That light's terrible. Think we're going to be able to get him because I just dropped it. Ah, that son of a bitch came off. That was a decent fish. Yeah, straight up, this is the most I've ever fished with anything other than a fly rod. I mean, other gear other than a fly rod in years. In years. When I was growing up, all I ever wanted to fish for was bullheads. The local lake had a bunch of nice bullheads in it. Well, they've cleaned up around the farms around. Now the water's a lot cleaner, and then the bullheads really don't like that, so they just kind of disappeared. which is sad, but gotta deal with it. Then once I got in fly rod fishing when I was like 16 or something like that, that's all I ever wanted to do then. That's where all my money's at, camera gear and fly fishing gear. Another dinker. So I just took off that ice jig with the, I was using red worms today. Put on a jig. Second cast to catch a crappie. Well, my day is over. Really slowed down once that sun. There's a smoker out here now. The sun started beating down here. So, not about, I kept some. Get off the string. So, not a bad stringer. Now I'm gonna go try to get a few mushrooms, morels. Have that with them fish tonight before it gets super too hot. It's only like 10 o'clock right now. The wind's blowing about 20 miles an hour. Anyway, I don't know if I'll film any of that mushrooming or not. If I don't, well, then I'll see you next time, probably on the water. Well, I lied. I decided to film. I really don't even know why I'm doing it. It's freaking 90 degrees now. Talk about a jungle. Anyway, we're not going down there. We're going to go back off that way. We're going to follow a deer trail here. A ways. You might hear some car noise because we're not really too far from the road. I'm not going to look too hard or too long, I'll tell you that right now. What, 3 days ago I had the furnace on. And last night I had to turn the air conditioner on. This is brutal. I don't know why I put on a camouflage shirt. And this is public ground, so. Damn, it's hot. Here we are. Well, we'll take a look around here. If I've got anything worthy to show you, I'll turn the camera back on. We just got enough, or get enough, just to go with them fish tonight. You know, 6 or 7 would be nice. Oh well, let's dive into this.